Allow your awareness to soften now, gently drifting inward toward the subtle, invisible architecture that has been quietly constructing the story of E within your mind. This delicate, tireless narrative that weaves together a character, a history, a future, and the endless performance of being someone separate and distinct. Notice how, for so long, this story has been the unspoken script playing through the chambers of your consciousness, a ceaseless, intricate dance of identity that demands your energy and attention, as if your very existence depends upon its flawless enactment. You have been the actor and the audience, the playwright and the critic, endlessly rehearsing the lines and scenes of a self that seems so real, so undeniably solid, yet is in truth a shimmering, intangible mirage, born from the mind's profound longing to define, to contain, and to claim ownership over the vast, boundless mystery of awareness itself. Feel the delicate tension in the muscles around your heart and throat, the subtle constriction that accompanies the relentless effort to hold this shape called I in place. This character, so carefully crafted, is a mosaic of memories, beliefs, preferences, fears, and desires. Each fragment a tiny mirror reflecting a version of yourself that the mind insists upon as real, as necessary as the unchanging core of who you are. Yet beneath this mosaic lies the vast open space of pure, unconditioned presence, untouched by the shifting patterns of thoughts and emotions. The story of I has been a brilliant, exhausting performance, one that conceals the profound ease and freedom that arise when you begin to glimpse the silent witness, the spacious awareness that watches without judgment or attachment to the roles being played. Imagine now the mind as a master storyteller, weaving a tapestry so vivid and detailed that it convinces you there is a solid center, a permanent protagonist at its heart. This protagonist is the I you have believed yourself to be, the one who remembers the past, plans the future, feels emotions, makes choices, and attempts to steer the course of life. But what if this I is simply a character created by the mind's ceaseless activity, a luminous thread in the vast fabric of consciousness without separate existence? The story relies on this illusion of separation, this belief that you are an isolated island surrounded by a vast, indifferent ocean, struggling to survive and define yourself against an ever-changing backdrop. The exhausting effort of maintaining this separation, of constantly defending and performing the self, has woven a dense fog that obscures the radiant light of your true nature. Feel now the gentle, patient presence of the witness beginning to emerge from behind the curtains of the mind's drama. This witness is the silent, spacious awareness that has always been here, quietly observing the unfolding story without interference or judgment. It is the vast sky in which all clouds, the thoughts, sensations, and identities arise and dissolve effortlessly. Notice how this witness does not cling to the characters, does not identify with the roles or the storyline, but simply allows them to come and go like passing shadows on a bright field. The first glimpse of this witness is like the soft dawn light filtering through a night that has seemed endless, bringing with it a profound relief and a spacious freedom that cannot be captured by words or concepts. As you rest in this witnessing presence, observe the subtle shift that occurs when you release the exhausting performance of being someone. The constant chatter of the mind, the relentless self-criticism, the anxious plotting, and the fierce need to control all begin to soften and fall away, revealing an open expanse where the story of I no longer commands your total attention. Feel the liberation that arises when you no longer have to prove your existence through the endless narrative of identity, when you can simply be here, breathing, aware, and free of the heavy burden of self-definition. This freedom is not something to be attained or earned. It is the natural, unconditioned state that has always been present beneath the layers of thought and illusion. Reflect now on the remarkable complexity of the story, how it has served as both a shelter and a prison, a source of comfort and a cause of suffering. The mind's creation of the separate self is a masterpiece of survival, a necessary dance that has allowed you to navigate the physical world, to grow, learn, and connect. Yet the moment you begin to see this story as just that, a story, you open the door to a profound shift in perspective. The self that seems so vast and unshakable reveals itself as a shimmering reflection on the surface of a deep, still lake. A reflection that changes with every ripple and wave but never touches the silent depths below. Allow yourself to rest in the spacious stillness beneath the story, the place where the witness dwells in quiet serenity. Here there is no need for struggle or striving, no need to defend or prove who you are. The mind's narrative can continue its dance, but it no longer holds the power to define your reality or to limit the vastness of your being. From this vantage point, you begin to sense the interconnectedness of all things, the seamless flow of life that moves through and beyond the individual characters and their stories. The illusion of separateness gently dissolves, like mist dissipating under the warm morning sun, revealing the luminous, boundless presence that you have always been. Feel the gentle unfolding of this truth in your body, the way your breath deepens and your heart softens as you surrender the need to maintain the fragile construct of the separate self. Notice the spaciousness that arises when you no longer resist what is, when you cease the exhausting performance of being someone and simply allow yourself to be the silent witness to the unfolding moment. This witnessing presence does not judge or resist. It embraces all experience with a tender, unfathomable compassion that transcends the limits of the mind's story. It is the quiet, unchanging essence beneath the ever-changing waves of identity, the eternal ground of being that is free, whole, and unbound. As you continue to rest here, feel the subtle but profound relief that comes with recognizing the story of I as an exquisite illusion, a beautiful yet fleeting dance of mind and form. You do not have to carry the weight of this story any longer, nor do you need to fiercely defend the fragile image of a separate self. Instead, you can gently witness the rise and fall of thoughts, the shifting scenes of memory and anticipation, and the subtle play of emotions with a spacious, open heart. This witnessing presence is your true home, the infinite landscape where all stories arise and dissolve without ever touching the radiant core of your being. Breathe deeply now, allowing the profound spaciousness of this awareness to expand within you, filling every corner of your experience with quiet light and effortless presence. You are not the character in the story. You are the silent awareness in which the story unfolds. This awareness is vast, timeless, and free, untouched by the illusions of time, identity, or separation. It holds all things gently, without grasping or rejecting, without beginning or end. Rest here now in the boundless peace of simply being the witness, the open sky in which all clouds rise and fall, perfectly seen and utterly free. Allow your awareness to soften now into the tender unfolding of the story that the mind has so carefully, so insistently woven around the simple word I. Notice how this seemingly innocent word is the seed of a magnificent illusion, a brilliant, intricate tapestry of identity that the mind has been crafting since your earliest moments. Feel the subtle weight of this constructed self, the character who carries a history, a future, a collection of memories and intentions like precious jewels stacked into a fragile crown. You have been playing the role of this I with relentless dedication, rehearsing the lines and gestures, the likes and dislikes, the carefully curated narrative that promises to define you, to give shape to the formless vastness that you truly are. Sense the quiet exhaustion that rises from this tireless performance, this ceaseless effort to be someone, to hold together the story that supposedly makes you real and separate from the endless, seamless ocean of existence. Notice how the mind moves with such swift agility, assembling a collage of moments and meanings, a relentless editor piecing together a life into a coherent, neat package. It is as if you have been handed an elaborate script at birth, one that demands you remember every act and scene, every success and failure, every joy and pain, as if your very survival depends on the flawless recall and ownership of this cast of characters you call me. This story is a performance that never ends, a play without intermission, where every thought, every feeling, every sensation is folded back into the script, reinforcing the illusion that there is a self who is separate, who exists in time, who must guard and defend the fragile fortress of identity. Feel the weariness beneath this tireless acting, the subtle tension behind the poised smile of the eye, the quiet hunger for release that is often hidden beneath the armor of self-importance. Yet in this moment, the first soft, luminous crack appears in the facade. You become aware of something deeper, something quieter, a presence that is not entangled in the performance, that watches the play without being drawn into the drama. This is the witness, the silent observer who does not speak, who does not judge, who simply knows what is happening without needing to be defined by it. Sense the spaciousness and the profound relief that arises as you meet this witness for the very first time, or perhaps for the 1,000th time, beneath the swirling currents of thought and story. This witness is your true nature, vast, unchanging, untouched by the passing scenes of the mind's endless narrative. It is the clear sky behind the weather of your emotions, the still ocean beneath the restless waves of your mind. Feel how the witness gently holds the I story without resistance or attachment, like a vast open sky cradling the drifting clouds without trying to grasp or alter them. The witness does not scoff at the illusion of the separate self, nor does it desperately cling to it. It simply allows the story to unfold, knowing deeply that this character is a passing shadow on the wall of pure awareness. Notice how this spacious presence is free from the exhausting need to prove or defend itself, free from the relentless effort to maintain an identity that is always slipping through its own fingers. The witness does not need to be anyone, to do anything, or to become anything. It simply is. And in this being, this simple, silent being, you taste a profound freedom, a soft unburdening from the heavy chains of the I story. Imagine now that the I is like a puppet whose strings have been pulled so tightly and so long that it began to believe in its own reality, forgetting utterly that it was the dance of the strings, the flicker of the flame behind the shadows. This puppet has learned to speak, to move, to act with such conviction that it has convinced the entire theater of your consciousness that it is the true self. But the witness, seated calmly in the darkness behind the stage, knows the truth, that the puppet is a creation, a transient form arising within the infinite play of awareness. Feel the soft power of this realization, the gentle but undeniable shift as the boundaries between the I and the witness begin to blur, revealing the seamless unity beneath the apparent divisions. Allow yourself to rest for a moment in this place of gentle revelation, where the exhausting performance of being someone is seen clearly for what it is: a beautiful, intricate dance of thought, a temporary mask worn by the timeless face of pure consciousness. Sense the spacious relief that flows through you as you recognize that the story of I is just that, a story, a shimmering illusion that the mind has crafted to navigate the landscape of experience. You are not the character, not the actor, not the script. You are the silent stage upon which all these dramas arise and dissolve. This knowing carries a weightless joy, a cool breeze that brushes away the heavy layers of identification and leaves you naked, free, and profoundly aligned with the essence of being. Feel the tender invitation to watch the mind's fluttering narratives with the compassionate curiosity of the witness, who neither clings nor rejects, but simply observes the endless parade of thoughts and feelings with a heart as vast as the sky. Notice how the witness does not get pulled into the stories of past and future. of I am this or I am not that, but remains steady, unshaken, a luminous presence that does not require definition or validation. This is the first glimpse of your true self, beyond name, beyond form, beyond time, a witness whose peaceful gaze transforms the exhausting illusion of separateness into a spacious sanctuary of unity. In this profound seeing, the mind's frantic need to secure an identity begins to soften, like a tide retreating from the shore, leaving behind smooth, wet sands glistening in the sunlight of awareness. You realize that the I is not a fixed, solid entity, but a flowing river of moments, each one arising and passing away within the boundless ocean of consciousness. The witness is the ocean itself, vast, deep, and eternal, while the I is but a wave, a ripple on the surface, beautifully alive but never separate from the whole. This truth does not demand that you reject or deny the I, but invites you to see it with gentle clarity, to hold it lightly as a passing form that cannot contain the fullness of your being. As you sink deeper into this spacious knowing, allow the tired masks of identity to soften and dissolve, revealing the radiant aliveness beneath. You are not the sum of your memories, your roles, your achievements or failures. You are the silent presence in which all these arise and fall away. Feel how this witnessing presence expands with every breath, growing more luminous, more peaceful, more real than any fleeting thought or feeling. This is the foundation of your true freedom, the freedom to simply be, without the exhausting need to be someone. You have begun to touch the unshakable core beyond the illusion of the separate self. And in this touching, a profound relief settles over you like a gentle, endless sunset, warming every corner of your being with the quiet certainty of your own eternal, boundless nature.